Sure, Riders Republic is home to a ton of us, but do we truly know how it got there? And can we really trust every little thing we've heard from some random man hawking veggie burgers to busy riders in the Ridge? Speaking of, did anyone ever find Brett? No, he's still out there. Someone has to get on that. But Mitch and I are gearing up for a different mission, and that is building the unofficial lore of Riders Republic. And we're going to need your help, and we're going to break all of that down in the main topic. Welcome back to the Riders Report.
Before we get started today, we want to recognize our existing YouTube members. A special thank you goes out to executive producers Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and my mom, and our fans and Fans Plus.
If you'd like to become a member for as low as 99 cents a month and help support our channel, you can hit join below to learn more about perks like early access to the Riders Report, emojis and badges, a members only video per month, sneak peeks, and more.
This might be a first because we have 3 pieces of news. They are all from Twitter and none of them are horoscopes. Over on the Riders Republic Twitter. First, they capped off the Free For All event that went on for a few weeks and they posted the top 10 Call Me Jay taking home first place. Congratulations. And they're going to have the names up on the big screen. Speaking of the big screen, they will be having the photos from the Assassin's Creed Riders Brotherhood contest on the big screen too. And they posted some shout outs over on Twitter from Aaron B and Saint and Tesha. And if you didn't get enough Assassin's Creed in Riders Republic, they posted 2 more outfits in the store.
Yeah, you can ride as, God, I'm going to botch these names, Ezio and Ivor. You can clearly tell we've never played Assassin's Creed, but you can grab those outfits in the shop right now. Those launched last week, just a week ago. It was 7 days to the day. Nice. All right, let's get to world building. We'll talk about the perfect storm. This mission is primed for the two of us, and we have built these skills in like the last 24 months. I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, this idea came from last week's thread. Jayox asking if you were a dev for a day, what would you add to the map? And True Cry 8384 mentioned some things and then said he would want some lore for the game. It would be great to have some backstory to the Republic. And when I read that, mind immediately jumped to, let's create the world. Let's run a D&D campaign. We named the villains like we had a whole story. And they're like, let's just start with the lore first, because I think that would be really cool for a game that doesn't have really anything behind it to, you know, come up with some of the reasons why it exists. Why is the Riders Republic there? And, you know, go through the lore building stages. Yeah,
I was going to say, you know, a lot of people have shouted this out in different spots, you know, Twitter, Instagram, over on Reddit. But at the beginning, there was this big, long trailer that they released for the game that said, you know, we are the Republic. We ride for a creed. We all accept a creed. And there was this very big, like, not political movement, but just like this cultural, it felt like a cultural movement. We are the Riders. Let's ride. This is our moment. These are our parks. Let's do this. And gravity's a myth. Those were like the big key points that brought everybody to the game. Everyone's like, heck yeah, like, let's do this. Let's get it done. And then we kind of lost the lore of like, what are we riding for? You know, it's a community, it's fun, but is there something bigger? Why are we allowed to ride in these national parks? What is going on? These are landmarks. These are monuments that are, you can't even like chew gum in some of these places, and we are absolutely demolishing them. So there's a lot of just questions to be answered on the mountain. And I think we can start today with just building the framework around the world. And then for episode 60 next week, I think we sit down and we try and answer some, if not all of these in an extended main topic. But as we go, we're trying to get everyone's creative juices flowing here. So think about elements that we may miss coming up that are important to building this lore. Let us know down in the comments your thoughts, your ideas, your categories, whatever else. Help us build this world. This is not just ours. And we'll have some more on that towards the end. But let's get to it. We both found a website using good old trusty Bing. Just kidding. The ultimate the ultimate world building template and questionnaire. 175 questions. I think we're gonna get around half of them.
Some of it relates to magic and technology, which who knows? We could get into that if you want us to come up with the magic and technology of the Republic. We'll do it.
Do you remember the crotch lasers that we had at the beginning?
Oh yeah,
what's up with the crotch lasers?
There's ways we could go. So I'll also put up a Google form that's blank. So if you don't feel like commenting, you can open the form and just type whatever you want related to lore, and we'll try to work it in. I think the biggest question first too is just how did the Riders Republic move into the national parks? Why is there no one else but riders in this area?
This was the only point that we briefly discussed before today's main topic, and I had a much bleaker outlook than you did. Yours was more based in realism. Mine was like some post-apocalyptic, like something happened. The Last of Us just came out on HBO Max, so let's just say there was a virus that went around and killed everyone. But the Zillennials, the Generation Z, the young bunch has some sort of immunity where they stuck around, and they had the Stees gene. And if you didn't have the Stees gene, you died. You were uncool. And you when you died, you grew into a cookie cutter character like the Matrix. Like you turned into a Mr. Anderson, right? Like black suit, white shirt, sunglasses, clean cut, and you just kind of faded into the background. But the riders that had Stees, the folks in the world that had Stees, were able to rebuild and maintain society, and they chose the national parks. Brett is the only real exception to this age group thing. So I don't know if it's the plant-based diet or what happened with Brett. We can get back to that later if this is the route we pick. But I liked your route a little more than my everyone's dead kind of route.
Mine didn't quite go that way. It relates a bit, but when the pandemic hit and you couldn't go out, you couldn't go anywhere, the national parks rapidly lost money and funding and just had no tourism, nothing. They saw, the environment wasn't doing so well. So they're like, we'll just sell the national parks. And I just added this part. So I think trillionaire Brett, formerly a tech giant, just bought the national parks solely because he likes action sports. And just told anyone who loves action sports to move in.
Well, now we could also bring Brando Graham into this.
He's like the voice of God in this because he just is commentating all the time. He's just watching.
Right. He knows everything. So is it Brando that bought the world? And he's have you ever watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia had an episode where they went up to the Poconos to go skiing. And there's this running joke through the episode that they're having all of these very intimate conversations with one another about scheming and how they're going to beat the other team. And the overhead, the PA announcer on the mountain announces everything they're talking about. And they're like, how does he know? And someone walks by, they're like, that guy knows everything. He always knows. That's Brando. He's, Mitch had a peanut butter jelly sandwich in his cabin today. Wonder what he's getting. How? There are no windows. How did he know that?
You can't even go in the buildings. There are no cabins. They're all locked.
We know the engine. We can't even go in.
I think it's something like Hunger Games or something where there's cameras everywhere and Brando's just watching. And when he sees something he likes, he starts commentating.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so are we going with Brett is the Jeff Bezos of the future world?
I think this is something other people can decide, right?
Okay, yeah.
We'll come up with that. That's just how did the Riders Republic form? I want to hear other people's takes on that too.
Good. All right, so we're starting there, trying to figure out how it formed, and that will come in a later episode. We're not going to cover anything like natural resources. It's the continental United States. Look it up. Animals, weather, seasons. That's all.
I would say life. Why are the weather, animals, and plants not quite like ours? Like there's just snow on the ground, but we don't ever see snow or not much snow.
Wait,
the animal, I don't know. And there's no rain except that one challenge, right?
That's true.
The animals show up like once every 3 days that you play. It's a pretty scripted bunny, like a robot bunny scattering across.
I mean, yeah, it's another bleak outlook, but is this like a Truman Show situation where Brando is watching all of us in this biome? Like he trapped the riders. There's our villain arc. Brando Graham trapped everybody in here, and Brett was his partner on the outside that he threw into the game. So Brett is this happy-go-lucky, does not understand what's going on. One day he will take the blue pill. He will wake up. Red pill? Blue pill?
I don't know.
He will take a Matrix pill and he will wake up, gain consciousness, and then the riders revolt.
I could see that because Brett's recruiting you to the Republic. He's like trying to get you into the Invitational.
He's trying to build something.
Maybe if you win the Invitational, you get out. And Brett never won it, I don't think. Maybe he did. I didn't listen to what he says in the game.
I think he created it. Honestly, yeah, we both watched the cutscene like 30 times. I didn't listen once.
I think see too, just before I forget, Brando Graham with his like soul patch is definitely a villain arc.
100%. Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. One of those long t-shirts that people in California wear that come down to their knees.
Ripped jeans.
He's such a gorgeous man, huh? Just beautiful. Draft slapping all day long. Okay, so that's one route.
We've lost everyone by now.
I know. No one's watching. Hi, Mama Bell. Hey, what's up, Mitch's mom? Hi, Dad. So yeah, okay, we can talk about the animals. We can talk about character arcs, whether we want this to be, a benevolent or a malevolent storyline, whatever else. So the governance and the economy is the other thing that we need to figure out. It is the Republic. We are the Republic. We have a creed. What is the creed? What are we agreeing to? What is Brett trying to get us to sign up to? And to hop on board? What is the ultimate goal for him to recruit riders of all people? What can they do? Other than like Trick's battle with the weaponized, there are weaponized machines in this game, but I don't know, not for the majority of it.
Yeah, and then going along with that too, like why are the Shack Daddy Bandits different? I know they're weird and they like to do fun stuff, sect. But that's kind of like a, two different societies or two different groups kind of fighting, and they're right inside the ridge.
Yeah. So everyone is coexisting, but there are factions. We definitely do have factions. And I mean, obviously we have clans because they're built into the game. So you have your sub factions there. But is it Brett against the Shack Daddies? And he's putting, he's trying to whatever else. They just want to hoon it out. Shout out Ken Block. They just want to hoon it up on the mountain. And Brett is trying to fight for a greater good. Brett knows something that we don't. And the Shack Daddies are just like, no, we just want to race. We just want to ride. Are they the defiant sect, the anarchists in the group? Which that does kind of track for Shack Daddies, but I don't know. Do people trust the government? Is Brett's mission working? How is he recruiting? He's just talking to us every now and then he goes and gets lost. Come find me. Why? What are we doing? No one showed up to his seminar in the woods to join the Republic.
Yeah, it's like the only two things that ever happen on your cell phone in the game are him or Yuki calling you up like, hey, I got a cool event to come check out.
Yuki's a sleeper agent for the Shack Daddies.
Yeah, she's something. I don't know. We'll figure that one out too. That's another.
What's up with Yuki? Yeah.
That's like the only other character.
Form of currency. I mean, look, I get it. We have currency in the game, but is that anything? Is there anything there? I don't know. Is it that's just the money? We already know the money.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Education. There's one board where you learn all of that stuff.
It's a training academy, Nicholas.
Yeah, there you go.
I think.
How do we eat? Where's Brett getting his food? Where does he farm?
Cliff Bar poster, but no Cliff Bars that I've seen.
I've never seen a Cliff Bar in the wild.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody eating.
Yeah.
No bathrooms. Are there?
There's no.
There are. I think there are.
It's nature. It's a national park, though. That's kind of.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, what's the infrastructure? I mean, yeah. This is gonna go out of control. It already has.
We're pretty close to like a main topic anyways. So there's some other stuff on here. We got culture, which we kind of talked about with the ridge, food, clothing, Magic and technology. If you want to throw out some wild lore-based things about magic or technology and how it relates to this game, I'd love to hear those because we could work in a section of that too.
Yeah.
How do you keep getting back up? How do you rewind time?
Oh, okay. Yeah, there is magic in the world in there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, we can also talk about the clothing. Like, it's one thing just to dress silly, but is there a reason for it? Is there a reason why we have the options we do? I don't know. Does shiny pants do anything? We can go as deep as we want to here. Obviously, language is already kind of pre-built for us. It's like Riders language. It's,
Hip
the
kid
lingo.
language.
Yeah, it's the hip kid language when they're dipping into the bowls and drinking their juice, like they do. Entertainment, celebrations, festivals. Do they have who's the best artist? Who's the biggest artist in the Ridge? We don't know. There's so many songs going, there's so many radio stations, but like, what's the pop culture?
It's Didgeridoo guy.
It is it's Didgeridoo guy against the bongos guy.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, holy cow. So yeah, we can link this questionnaire down in the comments. And like Mitch said, we're going to have a Google form for folks to fill out. If you have any ideas, any lore building tools, tricks, tips that you can provide us, we want to build this with the community. Devs and riders alike, please help us build the unofficial lore of Riders Republic. This is going to be a couple weeks in the making. I can already feel it. Well, it was only a matter of time before this happened. Ian Hawk BMX plinking some holes in ones.
This one was up last week. We almost talked about it, but we had to wait for it to premiere. And it's always worth watching Ian Hawk BMX's videos when they premiere because he just steps it up every single time and going with hole in one on different vehicles.
Yeah, that first 30 seconds of the video rocking that blue, teal cheetah print sweater really looks like the shirt that you used to have back in high school. But that's a story for another day. Moving on. Next video we have here is from Gunny Guns. It's free, a Riders Republic montage. This one's starting with a little bit of AR here.
Yeah, and he did that. Is he the one that had the screen, on the camera in one of the TFG events? He's been doing more of that, and I love seeing that kind of thing because you just get to play with some cool effects. And then his montages are getting better every single time, and I now recognize that traffic cone head anywhere. If I see that in the game, I think Gunny Guns.
Yeah, I was going to say these montages are just becoming silky smooth, almost as smooth as butter. Hollow Endeavor is closing out episode 59 of the Riders Report with BMX clips that are smooth like butter, episode number 61. And that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us for the first 59 of our 100 guaranteed episodes of the Riders Report. Special thank you, as always, goes out to our YouTube members, executive producers, Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and Mama Bell, along with co-producers and Fans Plus.
And if you want to become a member just like them, it helps support the channel and lets us make some really cool content. And you'll get some cool stuff too, like early access to the show, emojis, badges, a members only video per month, which I just put one up today of us doing terrible trying to record the news segment. It took like 10 takes. Nick had to do it at the end because I just couldn't anymore. And it was like recorded on a Tuesday right after New Year's. So it's fun to just kind of watch our process and us choke through that. But if you don't want to become a member, you can also just subscribe and you'll still catch our videos every single Wednesday and our random ones, including the TFG X Game style competitions.
Yeah, I was going to say this month's members only video of us just absolutely botching the news. It just goes to show, why we should never take 2-week breaks. We've done 2 in the past calendar year. No fault of anybody, the holiday seasons and vacations, whatever. You can't do anything about it. But, we do this show every single week. You think you would retain some sort of skill, and we just completely bit it. Like, we lost every single, strain of knowledge that we had from the Riders Report. I called it in the intro of that video as well. You didn't include it. I said my whole pre-roll intro, welcome to episode 50, whatever. Welcome back to the Riders Republic. And we both just went into news like nothing had happened. Like I didn't just not say the name of our... Anyway, It's harder than it really should be. It's a little embarrassing, but if you want to pay a little bit this month, that video is definitely worth a few bucks. But we will see you in the next one for free. Same place, same time next Wednesday for episode 60 of the Riders Report. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see you on the slopes.